Hey guys, today is July 21, 2019, and it is boiling hot outside. You see, it's plus 25 right now. I'm in Toronto. It's plus 25. Okay, now plus 25 is a great temperature. So that's in the US, that's like 77 degrees. Okay, US terms. But because the humidity is so high, it's very bad for anybody to be outside right now. But there are a lot of people, as you can see, walking outside, and they really enjoy this kind of weather. It's it's not good, guys. Even if you want to enjoy the summer weather, it's not good to be out there right now. So if you guys, at the time that you're watching this, wherever you are, in Canada or in the US, and in different parts of the world, because like it's summer right now for a lot of countries, it's not good to be outside in this kind of weather. Yeah, people have been dying, guys. Everywhere in all the countries where the temperature is really hot, people have been dying. So just if you don't have to go outside, don't go. Stay inside and keep your pets inside. I hate it whenever I see people with their pets in this kind of weather, taking their pets out for a walk. You understand? People have to have some more, have some more common sense. Use your brain. It's not a good idea. It's worse on pets because of all the fur that they have, right? So, and whenever I see like dogs and they're panting and their owners are walking them, and their mouths are open and their tongues are hanging out and they're panting and panting. And some people don't even carry water for their pets. When I used to have my dog, I never took her out in this kind of weather. I never took her out in this kind of weather. One time I made the mistake of trying to take her out for a walk, and that was my dog went to heaven in 2009 or 2010. I took her out for a walk in hot weather, really hot weather, and I had to turn her around and come right back home again. It was too hot, and I never did it again. It's crazy. It's like just it's abusive, guys, to take your pets out in this weather. And your cats, guys, don't let your cats out. Bring them inside. Well, cats can tolerate this kind of weather. They love this heat. So this kind of heat does not bother them. But it doesn't mean that they still can't get dehydrated, because they need water to drink. In this heat, they need water to drink. So make sure that you're watching out for your cats if they're roaming around outside. Okay. Anyway, so guys, I'm gonna talk about. Okay, you guys, I just made a video of the friend that I helped to start a business, but then he made some decisions that got himself into trouble, and so yeah, I made a video of that, and now I'm gonna tell you about another unfortunate mess that another friend that I have that I'm currently helping got himself into. Okay, but everything's okay with this friend now, but I'm just gonna tell you about what happened. Sometimes, guys, when you try to help your friends, and then they go away, and they go away to do their thing, and then after a few weeks they contact you and they're like, "Hey, Nancy, help me, I'm in a big mess, help." Yeah, I'm just laughing because sometimes our friends, you're like, we want to help our friends, and we do, and then they call us after a time to tell us this is the trouble that I've gotten myself into. And it's kind of funny because not what happened to them is funny. I'm just saying your friends sometimes tend to drive you a little bit crazy because you're trying to help them, and instead they go away, and when they come back, they come back with the story of, "Oh, I messed up." So anyway, so yeah, so this other friend that I have, it's the same thing as the first friend. um, the second friend, like the first friend, I I was helping him. I sent him some funds to help him with a business. So for you guys who don't know, I have a ministry, a small ministry where I help people. Okay, so yeah, so I do that, and that's what God's That's my calling, is to help people. Okay, so I'll have the link to the story of my other friend in the description box, so you can check that out. So my other friend, this friend just finished some studies, and he wanted to go off to university to become a doctor. So he does not have the funds to go to become, to go to university and to become a doctor. So he called me, he sent me an email, and he explained to me, the situation. And I said, okay, well, you don't have the funds to go to university right now. Okay, so this friend is also in Uganda, like my other friend. So I told him, you don't have the funds to go to university right now, but you can still go there, but it's going to have to wait. So what we can do is, I can help you. And so then I can help you by sending you some funds, and you can start a business. And then that's where you start. You start a business, and then you generate an income, and then you save the money. And then eventually, when you have saved up enough money to go to university and to cover 100% of everything, which is going to be in a while, then you'll go off to university. And my friend said, yeah, that's a really great idea. Thank you so much. So, and I said, okay, so we will do that. So I sent my friends the funds. Okay. So this was also in February, when I at the same time that I helped my other friend. And so I sent my friend the funds, and everything was all set to go. Oh, right. So then, this was in February, so then we are now in July. And we see January, February, March, April, May. Okay, so at the end of, we're in July? Yeah, at the end of June. Yeah, at the end of June, maybe the first week of July, my friend sent me a message, and he told me that he was feeling really, really stressed out. And I said, so what's happening? And he said that the landlord is pressuring him because he is late he is 3 months late. At that point, he was now 3 months late. And I said, what? Rent? What do you mean by rent? You don't pay rent. You have your own house. And so then this is when my friend confessed to me. So my friend sent me a message and confessed to me everything that was happening. And he said, okay, Nancy, this is what happened. The money that you sent me, I did not use it to start the business, but I used it to pay some rent. And the rent that I was paying was, it was a house that I left my house. I left my house and I went to go pay rent at the university that I want to attend, because it's a house that's closer to the university that he wants to attend. And so my friend was saying that, because he was he was still hopeful that somehow, somewhere, the funds would come for him to go to university, and being in a home close to the university would have made his journey to the university a lot easier. Plus, there are other relatives in his house, and he needs peace because there are some little kids there. And I'm like, yes, I understand that, but the thing is, that was not what we had discussed. We discussed, you start a business, and then from there, eventually, this is your path to get to university, starting a business. And he says, I know, but I messed up. And I said, okay, so what's happening now? And he said, well, the landlord has really been pressuring me because I'm 3 months short. Like I'm 3 months late in rent, and I don't have the money. And I'm also struggling because I don't really have a lot of food to eat. And so I said, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Oh boy. I said, okay, now look here. Okay, so this is your situation. You've gotten yourself into this situation that was not necessary, and now you have to pay your late 3 months right? You are behind in 3 months. So I knew what my friend was thinking. My friend was wanting me to help him out. So I wasn't going to do that. You cannot rescue people who get themselves who get themselves into a mess they knew they shouldn't have done. Sometimes all of us make we get ourselves into things that, because we're desperate for something, we make a ridiculous decision or a choice, something, just a crazy decision, and then we pay for it after, and then we realize, oh, what have I done? Some of us do that. Okay, not everybody, some of us. So I told my friend, well, this is what you have to do now. I'm going to continue helping you, but it's going to be this is what you have to do. You have to make a very tough decision, but it's the only way for you to get out of what you have gotten yourself into. Okay? Now bear in mind, when I just said that I wasn't going to rescue my friend, what I meant was, I'm not going to cover for the rent that he's owing. What I meant by when I said I was going to help him, what I mean is that I'm going to help him, but once he leaves this house, and I will continue helping him, because he is really struggling. He's struggling in a bad way, him and his family, right? That's what I meant. So I told my friend, I said, look, you need to leave this place because you cannot afford. You can't hold on. Hi, Uma. Hello. I just gave you food. I gave you food, Uma. Go eat. Go to your plates and go eat. Yes, you're a good girl. Okay. My cat has not olive oil. She's got coconut oil all over her body, and I applied it to her yesterday morning, and she gets really mad at me when I do that, and she doesn't let me touch her. Like when you try and touch somebody who doesn't want to be touched, and then they kind of move their body away. They're like, "Don't touch me," like that. That's what my cat does when I try and pet her. She shifts her body really quickly away from me. She's like, "No, don't touch me. You just put all this stuff on me. I don't like it." So she's really funny that way. I will post the link to the video about coconut oil and cats and dogs, because it is an excellent flea killer, flea repellent, tick killer, tick repellent, and any mites and anything like that likes to attract to your cat or your dog. It kills the fleas, the ticks, and the mites, and it repels the fleas, like these insects. It repels the fleas, the ticks, and the mites. Repels means it keeps these insects away from your cat and your dog. Okay, so I will post that link there, and it's amazing, guys. No more fleas, so then you don't have to buy any more medication with all those toxins. So anyway, so I told my friend that now that you cannot pay all this month's rent, these 3 months rent, you need to get out of there, because the longer you stay, it's going to be worse for you. So my friend said, okay, I will do that. But I also told my friend, I said, now, this is what you have to do, though. Normally, landlords, when they find out that you cannot pay the rent, they will take your belongings. They will keep your belongings and kick you out. They will keep your belongings in exchange for the payment that you couldn't give them. My friend, he didn't like what I was saying, but I said, this is what you're facing now. You cannot afford to pay this person what you're owing, so you're going to lose a lot of things. So what I suggest is you do this. You pick a day for when you leave, but make sure that you take along with you everything that is very important to you. Take with you everything that is important, and leave everything that is unimportant behind, because they can be easily replaced. Things that are not important, although they do mean something to you, but take the things that are most important to you, that are more important to you, and leave the other things that you can just replace them later. So my friend said, okay, I will do that. Okay, so then that was the end of the conversation. And then the next day, my friend emails me again, and he tells me, okay, Nancy, I did that. I went to the house. Oh yes, and I also told my friend, make sure that yeah, I told my friend, make sure that you remove these things in one day, not over a series of days. Otherwise, the landlord is going to be suspicious and he's going to stop you from taking, he's going to lock the door and keep everything. And you're going to lose a lot of your important things. So, okay, so that's what I told my friend. So anyway, so then my friend emailed me the next day and he told me, Nancy, I did what you suggested. I just finished removing everything that was important to me. But I also approached the landlord and I begged him to please give me another opportunity. And I told him that I promised him that I would produce the 3 months rent, just give me some time. And in my mind, I was like, what? What? What are you thinking? This is what I was telling my friend in my mind. And then I emailed my friend and I scolded him and I said, what are you thinking? What were you thinking and what are you thinking? That was not what was discussed. What are you doing? You're getting yourself into a deeper hole. You're promising the landlord something that you cannot deliver. So why are you lying to him? And my friend said, well, I was just hoping that I could come up with the money somehow. And I said, okay, how? Where are you going to get the money? Who's going to give you the money? So my friend was silent because after all, he knew that he could not produce this money. Nobody was going to give him money. And he knew that I wasn't going to give it to him. So then I said to my friend, okay, look here. You were not supposed to promise your landlord anything about giving him what you owe, because you are misleading him and you're lying to him and you know that you can't produce the money. So then my friend emailed me back and he said, well, you know what, Nancy? The landlord said that he forgives me. He forgives me for for 1 month's rent, and now I only have to pay him 2 months' rent. And I said, well, you have a very compassionate landlord, but the thing is, you still cannot produce the 2 months' rent that you were owing, and you still would not be able to produce the next month's rent for being there for the next month. And also, you're not going to be able to produce for every month that you're there. You will not be able to produce it, and you're really, I mean, you're now you're headed into like even deeper, more serious hot water with everything, with this agreement that you just gave to the landlord. I said, you are now in a very, very serious situation. You're in a lot of trouble now. And I said, do you know that your landlord can take you to court? He can take all of your things legally and take you to court for what you're doing. So then my friend emails me back and he says, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Oh, I don't want that to happen. And so then I emailed him back and I said, yes, this is how serious it is. Now listen to me. Okay, look, you have no other choice but to go back, because at this point he was back at his house. So then I said, go back to the landlord, go back to that house and tell the landlord that you cannot pay anything, that you will not be able to come up with the money after all. Just say that. Tell him you will not be able to come up with the money after all. And then that's it. You have to leave, and the rest of your things, you will lose them. So my friend emailed me and he said, okay, I will do that. So the next day, my friend emails me and he tells me what happens. He tells me what happened. And he explained to me that he approached the landlord and he told the landlord, he said, well, I'm really sorry, but actually I cannot come up with the money, all of the money that I owe you. I just can't do it, and I will not be able to come up with any, I just cannot, I will not be able to come up with anything later on, and I cannot come up with the money that I'm still owing. I just can't. And so then my friend said that the landlord said, okay, well, I'm going to have to confiscate everything that's in your room. So then my friend said that after he had this conversation with the landlord, he exited the landlord's house and he went back home. And so I told my friend, this is something, even this second what you just, I said all of this could have been avoided. All of this could have been avoided. You should have listened to me the first time instead of having placed yourself in even more hot water. I mean, instead of potentially putting yourself in hot water, in more hot water, you should have just listened to what I said the first time about removing all of the important things and then just leaving and just telling the landlord you cannot pay the rest of the month, and then just left the house and left everything else that you couldn't, that was unimportant in the house. But you didn't do that. You promised him, you continued by promising him that something that you couldn't deliver. And then you placed yourself under more stress, and you placed the landlord under more stress. I said that was completely unnecessary. Yes, guys, I had to scold my friend because that's a bunch of nonsense. When a person is when a person is giving somebody good counsel and they don't listen, and then they continue not to listen, they need a good scolding. Okay? Okay. Amen. All right, girls and boys. So, my friend went back home, and now he's doing a lot better because the stress of what he had been going through living in that house. He had been renting that house since, yes, February. Let me see, February, January, March, April, May. Yes, he was there since, no, he was there since May, June, July. No, hold on a minute. February, March, April, May. Yes. Hold on. March, April, May. No, he was there since March. He was there since March, and then he was continuing to stay there, and of course, the longer he stayed there, the more money he owed. So he was there since March, and I didn't know this. So all the money, the funds that I was sending him to help him and his family, and also to start a business, was going towards this rent. No, you can't do that. You can't mislead your friends. Now, this friend that I have, he is not, this is the first time that he's ever been dishonest, right, about what he was doing with the funds. It's the first time. I mean, people make mistakes, and we have to be merciful and give them a second opportunity. So, but with having said that, I also told my friend, like I said once, now my friend is back at his house, and I explained it to my friend, because of your dishonesty. I mean, I explained it to him that, this is something that has shocked me because I never expected this from him. But because of his dishonesty, I am not going to allow him to handle his funds. I am going to I'm going to handle his funds through somebody else. Like I'm going to send his funds through somebody else that I know in Uganda. So that's what's been happening ever since. And my friend doesn't like it. He feels bad because, he made a mistake, and he feels bad that somebody else is going to be handling his funds. I mean, yeah, because I need to make sure that I can trust him, and I have other friends in Uganda, and so I contacted one of my friends, and I said, this is the situation, and the friend that is now handling my friend's funds, they know each other very well. So I trust, I trust the people that I'm in contact with, right? So my friend is now handling my other friend's funds. So whenever I send funds to that friend, the friend that is now handling the funds, he goes with my other friend to, they go together shopping. They go to get whatever they need, for the month, and so that's the situation now for this friend. So I'm just hoping that no other friend will contact me and say, Nancy, by the way, actually the funds you sent me that were supposed to go to this, so actually I did it for that. I don't want any more of that. But in honesty, I don't think that's going to happen again. I don't think it's going to happen again. It's the first time it's ever happened in the years, in the years and years that I've known the two friends. Like the first one, that I was explaining to you about in the beginning, that he got himself into a mess with the funds I sent him, and then now this other friend who's about the situation with the rent. Okay, it's the first time it's ever happened with my friends that I've known from other parts of the world. It's the first time, but anyway, I mean, if it happens again, you know, not that I anticipate or that I'm looking forward to it. I'm just saying I'm hoping it doesn't happen again. But if it happens again, I will give those people, you know, depending on their conduct and if they have grown and learned from their mistakes, I will help them again. All right, so yeah. Anyway, guys, so if you guys, like I explained this in that one other video about my other friend, if you guys have people who you are helping, and like, okay, for example, if you have friends or family that you're helping, and you gave them some money, and then they messed up in some way because they used the funds for something different, allow them to explain themselves, and then, like, if they ask you for more help, then my strongest advice is that you do not help them with finances right away. Not right away, because they have to show you, have they really learned their lesson from their dishonesty, from, you know, because they came to you for help, or maybe they did not necessarily come to you for help. Maybe you knew about a hardship that they were going through, and you offered your help. Even in those circumstances, just because you offer your help doesn't mean that you are obligated to help them again. You have to see whether these people have learned from their mistakes. You have to give it time. Give it time. Let them show you by their behavior if they have really learned their lesson. And if you see that they have learned their lesson, then you can say, okay, I'm going to help you again. And warn them and say, okay, but this time you really better use the funds for what they're for. Because if you mess up again, that's it. That is it. And this is the way you teach people to take you seriously and to appreciate you and to respect the help that you gave them. Because you don't want to become an ATM machine where they can keep coming to you, you know, every time you give them money, and then they mess up and then they come back to you and you give them more money. No, you can't do that. Don't allow people to abuse you like that, because it's terrible, right? It's a terrible thing, because that's a betrayal. If they keep coming back to you for money, that's a betrayal. Okay, guys? And when you have, like, the heart to help somebody and you help them and then they betray you, it's like they literally stick their hands inside your chest, grab your heart and yank it out in a horrific, terrible way, and it hurts. That's what it feels like when you are betrayed. Now, I wasn't betrayed. I was not betrayed. I don't consider myself that I got betrayed by my friends. Okay, guys, it's 28 minutes. My camera's going to stop, and it stops at 30 minutes. But anyway, I'm going to finish up. So just make sure that, like, for me, I don't feel like I was betrayed, although I do feel I was, to a degree, I was betrayed. I feel I was betrayed to a degree, but I don't think it was very, very, very big. There was dishonesty. There was dishonesty with my second friend, but it was, betrayal was to a small degree. Okay, guys, don't forget to subscribe and click the bell so that you will be able to be notified of all of my, not all, but some of my videos that you might be interested in. You will be notified whenever I post a video. You'll be notified. So click subscribe and the bell. There's a bell next to subscribe. Click the bell so you'll be notified every time I post. Okay, guys, God bless you. See you later. Bye.